The recording has started. Okay, you are recording this meeting. Okay, now we are recording. So both the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the love of the Prophet Muhammad sallam are reciprocal to each other. We cannot love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by ignoring the personality of Prophet Muhammad sallam by disobeying him. Okay,
Mhm.
right?
जी.
Okay, because these are the pillars. These are the pillars. Okay, pillars of love, I would say. So Allah has stated in the Holy Quran, and whosoever the messenger Muhammad sallam gives to you, take it. And whatsoever he forbids you, abstain from it. Okay, and fear Allah. Verily Allah is severe in punishment. Okay, so the ayah is I forgot the ayah in Arabic right now, but when it comes to my mind I will tell you. Okay, so this is the same but I have told you, whatever the Prophet Muhammad sallam offers to you, take it. And believe me, Prophet Muhammad sallam is the most easiest guy in the universe that you can follow. Whenever Prophet Muhammad sallam was given an option, okay, to opt, for example, if there were two ways to go to a certain place. Okay, this is an imaginary example. Okay, whenever he was given an option, he would opt the easier one. He would go for the easier option. Okay, that was his personality for the sake of the ummah. Okay, that's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to uh, not continue a certain sort of practice in a, for example, among the people. What I mean to say is that whenever he was within the people, he was very simply doing things, doing very simply, because he knew that a certain practice, if I keep on practicing, Allah will make it fard, obligatory for the people. Okay, that's why he was very much doing the things very simply, in a very simple way. Okay, if he wouldn't have gone to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we would have been praying. He was kind of going I'm talking about the Miraj. I'm talking about the story of Miraj, when he was given 70 prayers. Was it difficult for the Prophet Muhammad sallam to offer 70 prayers in a day? No, it was not difficult for him. He said that praying is blessing, and he said that qarrat aini, it gives me a sort of comfort when I pray. But for us, he went 5 times to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cut it to 5 prayers, because he knew that we won't be able to practice so much. Okay, so what point I want to make is that don't feel like you are stuck by obeying the Prophet Muhammad sallam or by following the Prophet Muhammad sallam, because when you are following Prophet Muhammad sallam, you are actually feeling free. Okay, because he himself was very much lenient on especially for the believers. Okay, he was not harsh, and that was why people used to gather unto his meetings. Okay, because he was not that harsh. He never spoke harsh words to the people. Okay, even if somebody disobeyed him or gave him some bad remarks, he would give a smile. rather giving them, bad remarks. Okay. So Allah has stated in the Quran, nor does he, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, speak with his own desire. Okay. It is only a revelation revealed. So can you tell me, Ira, have we discussed this point?
जी.
Yes. And this is the Surah Najm. And وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى nor in huwa illa وَمَا يَنطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى, nor does he, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, speaks of his own desire. In huwa illa wahyun yuha, it is only a revelation revealed to him. You know, the beautiful thing of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was that whatever he spoke was a form of revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So definitely it is a piece of guidance for us. Okay. In his every single saying. The revelation, and I was talking with Ira, and I said that if you want to 100% make your personality, develop your personality, then go and read the literature of Hadith. This can make your personality so glooming, so humble that you just cannot take it from anyone else. The revelation that Allah sent upon the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was of two types, wahi matlu and wahi ghair matlu. Okay, can you define, Ira?
जी.
Mhm.
Wahi matlu is the one that can be recited, for example, like the recitation of the Quran. And then wahi ghair matlu, we cannot recite it, but it's the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Huraira would recite it, and Amir ibn al-As would write it.
Okay, okay. So the last part that Ira said was that Abu Huraira Raziyallahu ta'ala anhu and many other who were gathered, Sahaba, the companions of Sahaba, used to mm, secure whatever Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu said in whatever the means they have got. And the best means that they got were their memories. So they had a very good memories. Arabs were outclassed in that. Okay. And what is ghair matlu? So whatever we recite is known as wahi matlu. But what in this ayah it is referring to is that he does not speak of his own desire. So there are many, there are, only a very small amount of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu is basically Quran. So whenever the revelation used to come to him, he used to make sure that it should not mix with any other of my sayings. That's why at that point of time when the revelation came down, when the revelation came down, छोड़ दो गुलाले छोड़ दो जब तक वो शोर नहीं मचा रहा. Revelation came to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he used to make sure and write it on the slabs, on the leaves, on the हड्डियों को क्या कहते हैं, on the bones and the camel, on the camel's बस गुलाले बेटा आप जाओ यहाँ से, आप बेटा शोर ना मचाओ. So excuse me, okay. So I am not a boring personality. I know that. I think so. You're not boring. Okay. So he used to make sure that the especially Quran when it was revealed, the Katibin Wahi, the writers of the Wahi, they used to write it, and he used to tell every single ayat of verse of Quran at its place. Okay. Now the revelation Ghair matlu, which is that one cannot be recited, revelation aside from the Quranic scripture, This can be in a form of informing the Prophet Muhammad of certain instance and occurrence. Okay. So Allah Jalla Jalaluhu says in the Quran, Allah has sent down to you the book, the Quran, the Hakim, Hikmah, the book of Hikmah, Islamic knowledge. Okay. So what is Hikmah? Hikmah is basically the Islamic law, knowledge, and the saying of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay. And taught you that which you knew not. وَعَلَّمَ كَمَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ وَعَلَّمَ كَمَا لَمْ تَعْلَمُ. हाँ, इस तरह से कुरान में कोई आयत है. And ever great is the grace, and ever great is the grace of Allah to you, Muhammad Sallam. Okay, this ayah again emphasizes the personality of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam and the wisdom behind the Quran and his sayings. At the commencement of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam, it was ordered that revelation of the Quran be memorized as well as written. I have told you this, Ira.
जी.
At that time, it was also ordained that hadith, sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad Sallam be also memorized through no specification was given in the first instance to it being recorded in textual form. Okay. So this was to prevent the early Muslim from confusing the two as Quran was being revealed and to provide clear distinction between the two texts. Okay, so Quran was written. Okay. However, as time progressed during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad, Islam was established, giving the common folk firm understanding on the basic tenets of Islam. It was at the time that companions of the Prophet Muhammad were only not encouraged but enjoined to also record the hadith. So at the end of the day, when people understood what is the difference between Quran and the difference between hadith, then Prophet Muhammad gave them the ijazah, gave them the permission. Okay, you can write now hadith as well. Okay, so first the confusion was thrown away by stopping them, and just Quran was the focus at that time. But then, it becomes your, uh, it becomes your personality that you start understanding things. Okay, so the personal understanding was came to a level where people used to know what are the conditions of hadith and what were the conditions of revelation. Now, I would stop here and again go back and ask Ira that how can you just elaborate to us the forms of wahi that came to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu
Sure.
descendants, the way it used to descend.
So there are three. One was through Angel Jibreel, and that was in three forms. Angel Jibreel came in the physical form in the cave of Hira. He came in the form of bells ringing, which was a direct revelation into the heart. So, for example, when Prophet Musa's mother was told by Allah to float him into the Nile River, and the third one was Angel Jibril also came in the form of a companion.
Okay. So we can just bifurcate it by saying that sometime there was an intermediary, Jibreel alayhi salam, and then sometime there wasn't any intermediary. It could come in the form of dreams as well. So people used to know, and they were well trained, and they in bookkeeping of Quran. It would Sayyidina Anas who relates that Prophet Muhammad stated, preserve knowledge by writing it down. What beautiful hadith is that? Preserve knowledge by writing it down. Okay, that's why I just want to repeat the one of the stories, one of the stories of Amr ibn al-As, who used to write hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallam, but then one day he stopped writing, And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu said, "O Amr ibn al-As, why do you not write when I speak?" So it was very amazing that Amr ibn al-As said that, "O Prophet, sometime you are in a casual mood, joking with us. So how can I write when you are joking? No, no, it's not appropriate." So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu said, "I swear upon God, even if I am in a casual mood, joking with the people, I do not lie." Even the jokes of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu were the piece of wisdom. Okay, was the light of wisdom for us. One of the occasion, a Badwan came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu and said, "O Prophet, why don't you give me a camel?" And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ordered that please give him a baby of a camel. And he got angry. "Oh Prophet, are you joking with me? Seriously? You giving me a baby? I'm asking you a camel." And the Prophet Muhammad said, "Oh, oh my companion, don't you agree with me that every camel is a baby of a camel?" So that's how he was jolly, and that how he used to interact with the Sahaba. He was not a boring personality like me, giving you a lecture and making you bore. So it would be impossible to understand all of the verses of Quran without referring to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now comes the part that then why do we follow Sunnah when Quran is here? Okay, now the hikmah, the wisdom behind is that Quran is explained in Sunnah. Sometimes it restricts it. For example, in Quran, there is a revelation. Okay, there is a verse which says, "As-sariqu was-sariqatu faqta'u aydiyahuma," and male or female thief, if proven, cut their hand. Now exactly the word yad, aydiyahuma, the word yad is in Arabic refers to the whole arm and not the half. So should we cut the whole arm? Now the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu in his hadith restricted the hukam, order, by referring it to the extent of wrist. You can cut till the extent of the wrist, okay, and not more than that. And then he restricted verdict by by if somebody has stolen at least, I mean, half of a dinar, something like, or one, if somebody has stolen 1/3 of the dinar or something like that, he is not, the order is not applicable to him. More than that, yes, you can cut, but and then when we come to the jurisprudence and we see in depth, Imam Malik says that, for example, if somebody has stolen something from his house, there a woman comes to your house and then she works. Sometimes she gets tempted and take something from the kitchen or from something that is usable for you, or something that you ignore and she takes it. Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi say that this is not a theft, this is khiyana, this is a distrust, and it is not a threat. So I just wanted to give you this example by telling you, by making my point that Sharia is not that strict. Okay, there are hikmah. Okay, and it does not, it differentiates between the culprit and those who have done something in a way that it gives them a way out. Okay, exactly, I can quote you another example of Umar ibn Khattab in a drought. In a drought, when he was the Amirul Mu'mineen. He was the uh, at that time he was the, for example, nowadays we say prime minister or president. So he was the appointed leader of Muslims, and the drought came in Medina and elsewhere in the state of Islamic State. Islamic State at that time, Misr, Sham, every great nations, most of the great nations, they subdue in the reign of Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, and the drought came. So a case was reported that somebody steal a loaf of bread, and the case came to the Umar ibn Khattab Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, and he said that because of the drought, this person did this with a displeasing manner, and there was the intention wasn't there to steal, but intention was there just to fulfill his stomach, his hunger. Okay, so there is a difference between stealing and difference between force to do something, and that's why he said that this guy is not punishable. The account of charge is not on him. Okay, and he let that person go. So that is how Sharia is not applied, without analyzing the situation. It would be possible to understand. Okay, for example, there are more than 73 references in the Quran where Allah commands the believers to establish Salah. Okay, what is Salah? I mean, my lecture
Prayer.
is too much. What is Salah? This is the last, and I will then inshallah will be over today. Salah is prayer, okay, namaz. So 73 times Allah has established in the Quran Salat, the verdict of Salat, that you must pray 73 times. The method of performing Salah is not mentioned. And where is it mentioned? Including the number of rakats. This is, and also there are more than 30 references of giving zakat in the Quran, but no mention as to percentage or the number of times a year zakat is payable. So where do we find this information? We will find this in the books of Ahadith. Okay. So Quran, as per its information, explanation is considered. It is not complete without Sunnah. Okay.
Okay.
Any question till now?
That book is called Al Hikmah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you say?
I asked is if the book is called Hikmah or that's just a different name.
No, the book is the Quran is known as Book of Hikmat as well.
Oh.
Okay. Now, and Hikmah is also known as the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Okay.
So we have to go through this verse if we want to understand what exactly the word used over here. Hakim, I think so.
Okay.
So Hakim is the word that refers to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, is it enough for today? Any question, please? So I would conclude my lecture here. I hope that the conclusion is that Sunnah is the is the tool through which we understand the Quran. Okay.
Gee.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah Hafiz.